What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. With the final shape releasing soon, a new raid is just over the horizon. This will mean new raid weapons, new red border patterns to chase after, and new raid armor. But that can become pretty expensive really quick when each item from the end raid vendor will cost at least 20 Spoils of Conquest. So with that in mind, it'd be a good idea to get an early start on collecting Spoils of Conquest and current raid weapons and armor, so that even if you're a brand new Guardian or a returning one, you'll be prepared when that new raid gets here. Taking time out of your week to dedicate towards raiding is not always an easy task, which is why I've put together an updated guide on how anyone can obtain 75 Spoils of Conquest each and every week, even as a solo player. And you'll be able to get a ton of current raid weapons and armor without having to actually go through all the rigmarole just to get it. We'll be looking at 6 different raids with a total of 10 different chests. There are 4 of these that will provide Spoils of Conquest. That's the Vault of Glass, Crota's End, Root of Nightmare, and Vow of the Disciple. The other 3, which are Last Wish, Deepstone Crypt, and Garden of Salvation, will only provide armor and weapons, but that's only if you have already completed any of the encounters within those raids. If you've never completed any raid encounter whatsoever, then none of those chests will provide armor or weapons. But you can still get raid mods and Spoils of Conquest from those aforementioned raids. The first raid that we'll look at is the Root of Nightmare, which has 1 chest that solo players can access, providing you with 15 total Spoils of Conquest each week when completed on all 3 characters. You will need the checkpoint for Nezarec, and you can get this by utilizing the D2 checkpoint website, which I'll leave a link for down below. This chest does require a bit of out-of-bounds navigation, so a sword would certainly help out. The next chest that we'll be looking at is in the Vow of the Disciple, and with 3 characters, you'll get 15 Spoils of Conquest each week. In the opening payload sequence, there's a secret chest that you can easily obtain by shooting 3 different resonant splinters. While you're looking in this section, there will be pervading darkness, and it's going to slowly kill you. But if you defeat those 3 abominations, then the darkness will go away. Even if you do die at any point, you can respawn right back where you were at. The next chest that we'll look at is in Crota's End. This chest will provide 5 Spoils of Conquest, giving you a total of 15 if done on all 3 characters. We'll be accessing the secret chest that's in the Totems encounter, but to get there, we do have to have at least 2 players. You could grab a friend to help you out real quick, but like I said earlier, this can be done as a solo player, but the only real need for that second player is to swap the chalice to develop the bridge at the opening area. So if you have a secondary device, then you'll be able to log in under 2 different accounts. So if you're logged in on your PC and then log in on a different account on your PlayStation, just using that as an example, you could then join up and go straight into Crota's End, activate the bridge, and then just drop down into the pit. And at that point, the second player won't really serve any purpose, other than being a placeholder for you to swap through for your alternate characters. The next set of chests that we'll look at are contained within the Vault of Glass. There are 2 chests here, providing you with as many as 30 Spoils of Conquest each and every week. The first chest that we'll look at can be obtained through an out-of-bounds glitch that still works as of 2024. I would recommend using a sword, and if possible, strand grappling would really come in handy. Since you have to get yourself into a small little hole, you can't use a skimmer. You have to use a medium or a small sized sparrow. And once you are able to breach the barrier, you're going to be dropping directly down. So just watch out when you go through. The second chest is technically the first chest, and if you can get to it, you'll have access to both chests without having to use the out of bounds glitch. This does require opening the door, a task that would normally require at least 3 players, but we'll be doing it with just 1, and this is something that you'll be able to do on every class. To pull this off, you'll need to knock the heads off of all 3 Minotaur, which spawn in after you capture each plate. The Minotaur are the only enemies who can take back control of the plates, but if their heads are knocked off, all they're going to do is mindlessly follow you around. You do have to keep them alive though, because if you do kill them, new ones are going to spawn in. So once you have activated the plates and knocked the heads off of each Minotaur, you want to lead them somewhere that's safe for you to remain until the doors open. So that's 75 Spoils of Conquest that you can farm for each week. So now let's check out the raid chests from Deepstone Crypt, Last Wish, and Garden of Salvation. The first hidden chest within the Deepstone Crypt will be found right after completing the initial Sparrow course. This does have you traverse through the frozen zones of Europa with a lot of fallen traps. Skimmers can be used here, but because of the mechanics of the encounter, you still need to pass through each safe zone. And since this raid's weapons are now craftable, you are able to get red borders out of this chest. Next up, we'll check out the Garden of Salvation, and this raid has 2 different chests. The downside is that neither of these will provide you with Spoils of Conquest, but if you have completed any of the encounters, you'd still get weapons or armor. Both of these chests require you to breach wall barriers with different out-of-bounds glitches, and to make it a lot easier on yourself, I would recommend bringing a sword, strand, and Salvation's grip if possible. And now we move on to our final raid, the Last Wish, and there are 2 different chests. The first is on the bridgeway after the first encounter, and the second chest is after the Shurochi encounter. By entering in the Shurochi wish on the wish wall, you can easily backtrack to get to the bridge chest. The best way to get to the next chest would be by entering in the Morgoth wish and then backtracking to get to that one. This is a little more complicated though, and you'll need a sword with Eager's Edge, the navigator, or some other means to propel yourself across that huge gap. And with that, we've now covered all of the current raid chests that you can easily access as a solo player, so that you can gather enough Spoils of Conquest and other raid loot to be ready for when the new raid gets here, which I wish you all the best and luck in, especially to those that are going after the challenge mode. I hope today's video has helped you out and you've enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. If you're a new Light Guardian, or just a battle-hardened veteran looking for a new home, then be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.